Welcome back to the channel. For this video, I want to talk about finances, and I love talking about finances here on this channel because I truly want to help you guys as videographers become financially free. I want you guys to achieve all it is that you guys want in life, and I want you guys to be able to live in freedom. So without further talking, let's just dive right into it. So I decided one day to research what is the average annual salary of a typical freelance videographer. How much is it that people are comfortable with making a year as a videographer? And to my surprise, statistics say that the average filmmaker annually makes a year between $63,000 to $100,000 a year. And when I read that, I honestly asked myself, why is 100K a year all it is that filmmakers want to make? Why does that have to be the the end goal in your filmmaking career, and then you just stop there, you just be content there and just not have any higher pursuing goals to expand your business to even higher eventually? Now me, honestly, I'm just gonna say it, 100K a year is not a lot of money. Now let me stop that one person who's going to go crazy in the comments saying 100K a year is a ton of money, what are you talking about? In today's society, if you really think about it, if you're a single person, maybe you have cheap rent, maybe you have an older car, you don't have kids, you don't have a family to provide for, and you're living by yourself, your cost of living is pretty low, then yeah, 100K a year is pretty fine for you. You can get away with a lot with 100K a year. But if you're someone who has a family, maybe you have a bunch of kids, maybe you have a mortgage or even expensive rent or even a nicer, newer car, nothing crazy or fancy, but your payments are pretty high. 100K a year is not a lot of money, especially if you're married and you're the provider of the entire household and you're paying for everything. 100K a year is not a lot of money. With today's society, rent being extremely expensive, car payments being extremely high, interest rates through the roof, 100K a year is really not a lot of money. So every time I see these YouTube gurus that are trying to sell you a online course or a master class, or they're promising you that, hey, if you listen to me, you're gonna make 100K a year. Why does 100K a year salary have to be the only goal that videographers stop at? If you're that person who just wants to make 100K a year and you're fine and you're content with that, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're someone who's ambitious and you want to set up things for the long term and have your finances set for the long term, then 100K a year is not a lot. I'm a firm believer that you should leave an inheritance for your children's children. So in order for me to leave an inheritance for my children's children, now that doesn't always have to be money. It can be great wisdom you can leave them. But at the end of the day, we all need money to survive and operate and get around with life. So I know 100K a year is not going to be there for my children's children. It's probably going to be gone by my children. So my point of babbling on and on and on is to share with you guys some knowledge, some wisdom on how you can break past that 100K limit that a lot of filmmakers set on you and tell you that you need to make a year, how to go past that if you want to go past that, and how you can potentially scale your business beyond six figures. If you're interested in learning about that, then continue watching this video. If not, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Now, the first thing you need to do is focus on large scale productions. I know a lot of videographers are gonna tell you that, but they don't tell you how to do that. So I found typically if you're a one-man band, what works best is trying to work with large social media marketing agencies. Social media now has taken over the world. AI is going crazy. So social media, is a lot of money to be made in social media. So if you can find these social media marketing agencies and try to partner up with them and get them to ride along with you for the long term, make them sign a contract for maybe 3 months, 6 months, even a whole year of work, and offer them different packages. That's what's going to bring your business to the next level, especially if you're a one-man band. But you have to not necessarily look for smaller social media marketing agencies, but you don't want to go to the big dogs right away, especially when you're a one-man band and you don't have that proof of concept. So for example, maybe you can try working with a car dealership, but don't off rip try to go to Ford that has a giant massive franchise. Typically they already have their video production crew, and when they look at you, they're just going to pass. Not all the cases, because I have a friend who actually does video work for Dodge Chevy, and he's a one-man band and he does all of their social media videos at his local Dodge Chevy dealership. So yes, it is possible to do that as a one-man band, but if you don't have the proof that you've done this before and that you have the skill to do it and you can't provide them an entire package, don't get disappointed when they tell you no. So So go to smaller corporations. So maybe try a family-owned used car dealership. Your odds of working with them and having them be essentially a repeated retainer client are going to be much greater than just jumping right into Ford. Because the biggest issue that I see with filmmakers is they focus so much on just networking, working with clients, and trying to get the biggest budget. But they fail to look at these clients, look at their business, look at their marketing angles, look at their social medias, and trying to find the hole in their business and being that filmmaker to look at the hole and walk into that hole to fulfill it and provide them value. At the end of the day, these companies just care about making money. You as a videographer, if you can go to these companies, if you can go to that small car dealership and say, hey, you lack on photos. Your photos for your website is garbage, or maybe you need more videos for your website showcasing happy testimonials of clients coming in or whatever. If you can go and show them where they're lacking and show them how you can generate them numbers, and don't just create a video for them and then go on about your day. No, try to give them tips on how Instagram algorithm is working, how the YouTube shorts is working, especially if you're someone who's big into social media and maybe you're an influencer on social media. Don't just take all the knowledge for yourself. Share it with these companies. I'm telling you, you're going to lock in a client for the long term. They're going to toss your name around in areas that you're probably not even at, and you're going to make a ton of money if you go in and help them and provide value to them and be a likable person to them. They're going to throw money your way, especially if you're getting them results. Like I mentioned, if you're very familiar with how the algorithm works, if you know what the algorithm likes, what's going to be trendy, and you know the trends that are currently popping, and you see that the client that you're trying to work for hasn't hopped on those trends, don't try to set the new wave. Hop on what's already working. That's the issue with a lot of videographers. They try to start something new. They try to find a new method of how to grow their video production company or how to grow their video business, and they try to just set the new trend. Stop trying to set the new trend. Do what's already working. Telling you, you will accumulate dollar signs after dollar signs if you just provide value, do what's already working, provide high quality, and get out there and show these clients, show these customers what video can do and drive them sales. If you drive them sales, they're going to throw their money at you. And yes, it is 100% possible to do it all as a one-man band. But again, you really need to have social proof. So maybe you can start out with 5K a month. 5K a month is pretty decent. I wouldn't want to stop at just 5K a month, but if you're starting out, 5K a month can pretty much pay for most of your bills, maybe. Just depend again on how you live. And I don't know how you live. So 5K a month may be a lot to you. It may not be a lot. Start out with 5K a month. Offer different services, offer different packages, provide more value, throw more upsells. I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. Upsells is extremely important if you want to grow any business, and provide as much value, not only in terms of video production, but if you can throw in tips on how they can improve their marketing, then throw that in. Don't just be a lazy videographer. Put in the extra work if you have to. You don't always have to do it, but put in the extra work if you have to. Then as you grow and grow and grow, you can potentially scale up to 15K a month or even $25,000 a month. But once you start getting up there in higher ticketed budget jobs, then you may need a video crew with you to sustain that budget. But sometimes you don't always have to. I mean, shoot, if you can do a $25,000 job by yourself, then by all means, go for it. If you don't got to spend the entire budget on crew and gear and all that stuff, then don't do it. But if it makes sense to have some help, then yeah, go ahead. Don't be greedy and spend some of that money. So the second thing that you need to do in order to scale your business beyond 6 figures is you need to have more interactions with the client, with the customer. And that ties back into what I said by offering the client upsells, offer them different packages. That is crucially important when running a business. Upsells will carry your business even further. So just a couple of different upsell ideas that you can add. Maybe you can add discounts if you're into that kind of thing. But now when it comes to that, you have to make sure that if you're going to give them advice and tips on what is trending right now and how they can blow up their Instagram and drive in more sales and get more customers to come in, you have to make sure that you're talking to the right person. If the client who hired you isn't the social media marketing team and it's just a recruiter, if you explain to like a recruiter and say, hey, this is trending on Instagram right now, it's trending on YouTube. If I make a video similar to this and make it even better, you're going to blow up, drive a lot of sales, and make a ton of money. That's probably not the person that you want to tell that to, because they're going to look at you and be like, oh, okay, that's nice, and let's do that. No, you really want to talk to the people who are going to be on the Instagram pages, posting the content on the website, posting the content, and informing them if you can. Now, I know in some cases you may not be able to be in that position where you can contact them, but I would try to, if possible, to get a hold of them and explain to them, hey, this is what's popping right now. If you want to do something like this, we can do it, and I guarantee it's going to get you sales. And if they say yes and you do it and it gets them more sales, you just won. You don't understand what that is going to do for your career. Trust me, just take my word on it. Or maybe just pitching different ideas to your client that you may have done for a different client and it worked for them. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, you don't always have to be the one to come up with the new trend and try to make it pop off for your client. Find what's already working, what previously worked before for that client and for you, and apply it to this new client. Stop trying to be the new trendsetter. Now, my last and final point is something that I talk about in every single video that has to do with finances, and I'm going to say it in every single video until you filmmakers get the memo and start applying it to your career. Third point is going to be you need to diverse your income. I really don't get it. A lot of people seem like they're not listening to me because I still get some questions about that, and I say it in every single video. Diversing your income is important. Let me just break the news to you. The film industry is not an industry where you're going to be filthy rich. Again, most people push for that 100K a year mark. Statistics say that they make between 60 to 100,000. Some people are filmmakers and don't ever hit 100K. So again, if you love to be stressed out and if you love to worry about when your next check is coming in, then just do freelancing and do freelancing alone, and that is it. Don't do nothing else. But if you're someone like me who is already a stressful person and you don't want any more stress and you don't want to be like a focus puller who pulls their hair out when they're missing focus on set and the director is yelling at them, I want to be the guy who's on set just pushing the carts. I already have enough stress. I don't want that much stress. I don't want added stress. So therefore, I'm going to diverse my income. And I had to learn that the hard way. When I first started out, I was just freelancing. I had no other streams of income coming in. I didn't have my second business that I have now. So every single month when maybe I only got one job or two jobs or potentially even no jobs, I was stressing out. I was pacing back and forth like a crazy animal, and I would just beyond stressed. I wasn't happy. I started to hate filmmaking, and I just started to lose all hope. But ta-da, I realized, hey, I need to diverse my income. I need to make more money outside of filmmaking so I don't have to worry about if I don't get a freelance job. Because I took that approach and started my second business, if I don't get a freelance job for a whole month or even 2 months, I don't care. I don't care at all. It's not affecting me. My income is still coming in, whether I'm freelancing or not, whether YouTube pays me or not. Doesn't matter. And it's because I set that up for my life because I don't want to stress. I can't tell you how many times I talk to freelancers who just tell me how much they're stressing about their business and they're giving up hope. And maybe 1 month they hit $4,000 in freelance gigs, and then the next month they only hit $500. Next month they only hit $1,000, $1,500. And they're stressed out because of the inconsistency that freelancing comes. Not only that, freelancing, if you're someone who gets into a lot of commercials and higher budgeted jobs, feature films or whatever, it's a lot of traveling involved with freelancing. And if you're someone who is a family person who has kids, a wife at home, and you're traveling a lot, that can also affect you big time because you're spending time away from your family, your loved ones, your kids, and you're on the road a lot. And that honestly can be a deal breaker for a lot of relationships, especially for someone who is a freelancer and you have a relationship. That can be pretty hard. But if you're someone who maybe has a second business running where it makes you passive income and you potentially just make money from the internet like I do, then you don't have to worry about all that traveling. And you can just accept jobs that are local so you don't have to leave your loved ones. So yeah, I hope this video really opened up some of your guys' eyes. I really hope maybe it changed your perspective and it shifted your mindset on filmmaking. Hope it helped you, provided you value. Let me know your guys' thoughts and concerns in the comments below because I read every single comment and I love to interact with you guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Nos vemos pronto.